I'm here at the edge of the orchard, just in front of the pallet compost base, and I just wanted to check how the compost is looking now that it has had a couple of days to settle. And we keep filling these bays with a mix just of grass clippings and brown material from the garden, or then even our own hens bedding, and what we use for them is like really thin wood chip shavings, so it's perfect like carbon brown material. And I absolutely dread making compost, specifically turning it. I just find the repetitive task of lifting the sort of heavy and semi-composted soil really tough on the back, and once you start you have to finish it. You can't just stop in the middle of it because everything will be open and all that. So, and we have a two-bay system here. So the left-hand side one, that is the more active one, and that keeps getting more of the sort of other composted materials in it. And I was actually really pleased how the composted material in it, the older stuff, looked like, how fluffy and light it was. So I'm sure the covers that I keep on them just to keep off most of the rainwater has helped a lot. But yeah, I was really happy to see the state of it, especially I think compared to the spring version of it when it was really heavy and soggy, and I ended up sort of remixing it with the goods from the other side of the bay. Now the other side we've been filling too, but also perhaps using it a bit like a storage area, especially when I get these kind of larger clumps of prunings from the kitchen garden or any other areas of the garden. And rather than just leaving them out there in the elements and having them rot down into a mushy mess that I definitely don't want to deal with later, I'd rather put them here and let them even dry out a little bit further. And it's so much easier to handle it then and have it shredded, perhaps when there's a little bit more accumulation of this material altogether. And if making compost is tough, there is actually another job that I find even harder and tougher to do, and that is hedge cutting or pruning or clipping. And as you may know, there is plenty of it that we have around here. And it's mainly the hornbeam hedges I'm talking about, because the rest of it either we really let go wild and native, or the roadside, the tractor will do that. But the hornbeam hedges are mature enough now to get clipped twice a year. So once midwinter and the second time midsummer. And it's that summer pruning that will keep them in good shape going into winter, plus it sort of all over will keep a really neat appearance and not let the new growth get out of control. Bit by bit we have been trimming the hedges back, and this year actually huge thank you to my husband, who's actually been doing the lion's share of it. So there's still more to do. It's a type of a job that it's best broken into sort of chunks, or this kind of manageable chunks, because it truly is a physically demanding job. And not only is there like a large quantity of it, but most of the hedges are really tall as well. So, and then once you've done the pruning, obviously you have all the prunings to deal with as well. Our local council doesn't allow to have bonfires or any kind of backyard burning anymore, but the clippings can be taken into green waste recycling centres instead. Or you could just, I suppose, leave them in a heap in a corner of the yard somewhere and just let nature take care of it. But another option we have opted for is shredding all of our prunings. And I suppose just because we have so much bedding coming from the hens as well, all of this combined really seems to be creating a good mix for the compost. And this is what we have been doing so far. it, eh? Get this excuses possible. Yeah. I've shredded up all of the dried up large flower and kitchen garden prunings and done the same to the hedge clippings, and I sort of layered them then with the wood shavings from the hen's coop, and this filled one of the bays right up and most of the other one too. And at the moment I'm keeping the cover off of it. I can always put it back on just to, if we get like a long spell of rain forecast, but I think having a bit of water mixed in can help with the composting process if from the get-go there would have been just too much of brown material anyway. So we'll see. But let's go and have a look at something really pretty now. Now we've come to the cottage garden. I just wanted to show you how well is this verbena doing. And that's not your typical sort of verbena bonariensis, what you see. It's verbena rigida. And it has more of a like a pom-pom style flower heads, but they're stunning. But then just to even show you how well in this area the plants are starting to knit themselves together. So between the couple of different salvias and Nipetas, there's Achillea or yarrow there. It's just really starting to fill in really well. And there's the salvia with the rose combination as well. Really nice. But the new plant, what I wanted to show you, is actually in the rose garden. And the plant I want to show you is this one, which is a type of a foxglove. And this is supposed to be a perennial foxglove because it is a hybrid. So this is, rather than being digitalis, it's digiplexus. Now at the moment the flowers themselves don't look quite what they look like on the picture, but they're really simple looking and there are touches of sort of coral tones in it. But it's really classy. I'm liking it a lot as it is here. Before they just used to be obviously a bunch of leaves, and because the leaves are identical looking to the standard foxglove leaves, you wouldn't have known any difference. But yeah, this guy. I'm thinking I probably planted it too close to the edge of the planter as well, but because it's like a clump forming. But I can always move it. I can always get it, give it a bigger area when needed. And I have one in each of the planters at the moment, exactly at the same areas, because the planters are repetitive, like they're the same design in all of them. I think the flowers are really pretty. The color is stunning. Very nice against the rose here. Oh, sorry, Rose, didn't want to bend your branch that much. If you see it there. So the name of this one is Raspberry. Yeah, and it's a hybrid variety. Now, just as a very quick distraction from our main topics, garlic update. I have not harvested the garlics yet. I'm still waiting for a few more of the bottom leaves of the hardneck varieties to die off, just to show really that the bulbs are ready and it's ready for harvesting. The elephant garlic is getting more signs of rust as well, but I'm hoping if I can hold off for another week, maybe even another 2 weeks, just to give everything a better chance of growing just that little bit more. But otherwise we'll head into the greenhouse and have a look at those cucumbers. So these are the cucumber buckets that are troubling me. Both of them are Telegraph improved. And what it looks to me like, and that's where I'm hoping for your input, because I've never had it on cucumbers before, but what I'm thinking it is, it's probably powdery mildew, which is coming from high humidity, and potentially even I've caused it from watering too close to the base of the plant rather than watering from underneath. I watered it like it has gotten a spray from me watering directly into the pot. I think I've had that before on outdoor courgettes, but going back years ago, never on cucumbers. And I'd really appreciate you saying if that's what you think it is, the powdery mildew, and let me know in the comments. And what I'm thinking of doing or how to treat it is that what I've been reading up about really is the milk, watering down milk liquid and just to spray on it. But the very first thing I'll do is just take off the leaves. It's too late in the evening to spray anything anyway, what I'm reading is that it's better to do it early in the morning so that the leaves have a chance to dry up or dry off during the day. The pots are constantly inside the greenhouse. I'm not putting them outside, but it has been really wet and miserable as a weather anyway. But I'm thinking it could have been just from me watering too lively around the base of the plant itself as well. But the fungus seems to be on the stem of the plant as well, so that's what's worrying me. So even if I remove the bottom leaves where it is at the moment, then obviously otherwise it would just keep on growing, it's on the stem. So let me know what you think of that. But otherwise at the moment, straight away, what I can do is just I nip off those leaves that have been affected by it. Now I try to handle as little of those leaves as possible, because on some of the leaves actually underside of it was really covered with that powder or the mold. And I'm just thinking, like, obviously I haven't even hung up the plants themselves yet, and I probably want to find them a place on the other side where the peppers are at the moment, so they're away from this prevailing wind and rain side of the greenhouse, and hang them up, and I'm sure like they will benefit then from the airflow as well. So yeah, do let me know what you think. Is it the powder or mildew? And yeah, I'll treat it then accordingly, and let's hope that it will stay where it is, because there's a lot of fruiting flowers, or the female flowers coming out, and there's a lot of baby fruit coming from there as well. So you'd be sad to lose the plants. Yes, Rosie. Yes, Blossom, you came to join me. You want to come to the big potato reveal? We're finally at the potato stage. So I chose one of the small pots. So this is just 10-litre pot, and this is a second early Charlotte. But as by the number one, so this is probably one of the first pots I would have planted up in March. So they're well died back, and out of all of them actually I still have one more bucket of first early, and I think it's the Duke of York, because I've harvested one of the big tubs of red Duke of York. Absolutely stunning potatoes out of that one. And I still have one more big bucket of, I assume it's just a plain coloured Duke of York left then. But that red Duke of York, and it was delicious. Both my guys, they really love those potatoes. So I have, I'm definitely intending to grow that next year again. But out of, so all of the other second early buckets, this one of them is looking obviously well died back now. There's just a little bit of green in on one of the stems, but otherwise the leaves are all brown. So let's empty that one out and hope there's something nice in it for us. Oh, look, there's a slug for you. There you go, Rosie. Good girl. Nothing so far at all. Not a bit. Okay, so there's something in the middle here. Oh yes, how lovely are those now. I know you girls would love to come in here. Just like that. No, that's a potato. You can't have that. What are you at, Blossom? Yeah, you're hunting for slugs. Yeah, do you see any? Oh. Well, you can't eat the potatoes. I know you'd love to eat cooked potatoes. If you haven't seen the June garden tour yet, then the best details and updates on all of the other plants that are growing in our garden are in this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next update.